Good morning, bonjour, buenas noches. Welcome to Life Lessons Straight Up with a Twist. I am your host, Charity Youngblood, and I am so excited and grateful that you are here with me today. While you're listening or while I'm recording this, it is now 2022. It's here. We made it. Oh my goodness, we made it. This podcast is unedited because life is unedited. You can't go back in a conversation with a friend or a presentation at work and delete the parts you weren't so proud of. So we're not playing that game here either. What we will do is ask ourselves the right questions to learn the lessons for the season we are currently in, aka this present moment. As always, we'll get started with a question, and whatever activity you engage in for self-reflection and introspection, please feel free to do. So whether that's writing in a journal, recording yourself, saying the questions, and then saying your responses out loud, drawing, etc., do whatever works best for you. Okay, so today's first question is, what is my most natural form of self-expression? What is my most natural form of self-expression? So we're in 2022. At the time of this recording, this is January 2nd. So one day into 2022. And there's a lot of reflection. I'm a huge advocate for daily reflection. So reflecting throughout the day, literally checking in with yourself throughout the day, as well as reflecting daily, at the end of the day, what have you, at the end of the week. The point is reflecting more than just the year, which was definitely, in around and, a lot of the spaces that I occupy was, reflecting on 2021. And I wanted to keep with that kind of theme and talk about the reason that for this particular question. This actually came up. I am doing exploration of San Francisco bookstores. I just kind of choose different things that I want to do. And this year it was going to the bookstores in San Francisco, just not Barnes and Nobles, because I always go to Barnes and Nobles, but like the little fun bookstores. I love bookstores, if I haven't shared that yet on the podcast, museums and bookstores, but I love bookstores and I just get lost in there. I look at the books, I look at the titles, I open the pages, I just, anyways, it's something I love to do. So I was at the bookstore, my first bookstore on the list on Friday, I believe it was. And I bought this book. I was, guided to this book called Stay Inspired, Finding Motivation for Your Creative Work. And it is, the season that I'm in is a workbook type of season. I'm not really into just reading for the sake of reading. And that may change. Y'all know, things change. But I really enjoy the format of the book is, there's a reading portion and then there are questions after. And so I was sharing this with my husband. My husband was like, that sounds like homework. Yeah. He's like, that sounds like homework. I don't understand how you do this. How do you, why would you want to read and then do homework after? And we're a very fun couple, if you can't tell. But he was asking, and then he asked seriously, because we do enjoy learning about each other. And one of the answers that I provided was, writing is my most natural form of self-expression. And I hadn't really thought about that. And so, of course, that's where the question came. But when I'm exploring something, I actually write. That's my go-to to not only express myself, but to kind of hone in on what I've learned. Like, that's my confirmation that I've learned something. If I can write about it, it means I really understand the concept in whatever capacity that I feel like I need to understand it. So I thought that this was a good question to share and for us to explore together. And when I say us and we on these podcasts, I'm serious. Like, I'm doing this work. I'm going to journal on this. I don't have all the answers. This podcast is as much for me as it is for all, you listening. So, but yeah, I hope that question kind of gets your juices going, because again, it's not something that we normally would think about. And since this podcast is the format is really about and really focused on the process of self-reflection and the process of introspection. That's what we're doing actively together. It's an important way to start the year, right? If you haven't thought about, or maybe you went to some reflection type of workshops, and if you're listening to this, you are on a personal growth, self-improvement, self-development journey, right? So it would be highly beneficial for you to really dig into what is my most natural form of self-expression. And if that word, or the wording doesn't quite resonate with you, thinking about something that you can explore. For me, if I have a place to, like bookstore, perfect example, I chose to explore bookstores, and that's my first stop, right? So I choose a bookstore, I look at the map, I'm like, okay, I'm going here. And then it's exploration time. So I literally will just walk around and look at everything. I'm like Dora the Explorer. I just look at everything. I look up, I listen to the sounds, I do all of the things. So while you're thinking about this, think about how you explore. How would I explore a topic that I am really interested in? Like, naturally, what's the most natural way for me to explore? That would be the second question. What's the most natural way for me to explore a topic that I'm interested in? So for me, it's visual, right? Like I want to be in, I want to be outside, right? I want to go to the bookstore. So it's a little bit more active. Maybe for you, it's reading. Maybe your first thought, if you have an idea or concept that you're interested in, you go pick up a book. So those are some questions to just, those are the questions I had on my heart and I was thinking about, and hopefully they're helpful to you as you continue on this journey. We made it. I don't know how we made it. No, but we made it to 2022. And, this is a chance for us to really continue doing the work on ourselves. It is the most rewarding, the most challenging, the most complex. But really, when we sit down and engage in these processes, or don't sit down, I don't mean sit down literally, but we just take time and engage in these processes of learning who we are, what we value, what we want to contribute to the world, that is going to help not just us, but all of the people we impact, right? All of the people that look at us as inspirations, as well as how we inspire ourselves. I think that's super, super important. So hopefully that's helpful to you. Thank you so much for listening. Super excited to have you here again. If you haven't already, please rate, review this podcast wherever you're listening. And until next time, take care.